So you're a total noob and can't figure out how to left click on the heads of your enemies. Well, never fear, my friend, you've come to the right place. In Counter-Strike there are three main styles of shooting. Spraying, where you control the spray of the gun so as the bullets keep hitting the body. Tap shooting, where you aim for the head and fire one bullet at a time. And finally, burst firing. Burst firing is what we're going to be focusing on in this video, as it's the style adopted by the Belgian professional ScreaM, who is arguably the best headshotter in the world. Let's start with how you fire your gun. When you see an enemy, take your time and line up your crosshair around the chin. This should give you the best chance of hitting your opponent. Once you've got your crosshair in position, hold down the left mouse button until 3 bullets have been fired. The reason we're firing 3 rounds is because the first 3 rounds are the most accurate. It will give you a better chance of hitting than if you fired just 1 bullet, as even if standing still, all the assault rifles still have some degree of inaccuracy. Remember, you should take your time aiming carefully and accurately. When playing Counter-Strike, or any other mentally taxing game, your senses go into overdrive. You're probably not taking as long to aim as you think you are. Also, your enemy is going to notice you quicker if you're shooting at them and missing than if you're standing still and aiming. Even if they're looking at you when you're in plain sight, they will still take a fraction of a second longer to realise that you're not on their team and they should shoot you. Use this time effectively. Of course, not everyone is able to precisely aim their crosshair. Aiming is easy to understand but very difficult to master, so let's talk about how you can go about adding in some good aim practice into your warm-up routine. Probably the most useful skill you can have when playing any shooter is good muscle memory. When you regularly perform certain actions, your brain stores the movements you made in a sort of cache memory. This is closely connected to the part of your brain that sends signals to your muscles. In other words, it allows you to react faster. By doing muscle memory building warm-ups, you can bypass the thinking portion of aiming and greatly improve your reaction time. I have 2 maps in my warm-up routine for building muscle memory, which I will show you now. The first one we're going to look at is Training Aim CSGO 2, this one here. This is a revised version of an old training map that had some bugs. Someone just fixed it up. So once you're in the game, you'll be here with a bunch of bots, and then the bots will disappear and all that jazz. So you've got to go to level 1, 2, 3 and 4 here, and you use these to basically go to different parts of the map, like so. Am I at one? There we go. Over here, you pick the gun you want. Gonna pick an AK. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so these are different ranges. I personally like 2 and 3 the best. These are where the distance I tend to be shooting from. Now, we're going to do angles and sliding. This is the one that builds muscle memory really well. So you shoot in the middle, and then you shoot the little red dot. And this is a really good way of building muscle memory. You want to do this from a few different ranges. You want to do it from 2 and 3 are the ones I like to do it from. I don't bother with 1 too much. 1 is a little bit close for my liking. You may want to do 4 if you want to be a long-range headshotter kind of chap. If you want to just be like an AWPer but with an AK. Okay, we got 44. That was a pretty terrible score. I've not played very much recently. I don't have a pistol. So there's also classic fast aiming. We'll go to range 3 for this one. So this one is a good way of testing that you're building a good bit of muscle memory. You just shoot at these things, and you can see how bad mine is. Next up, we're going to have a look at this map called Aimbots. This is a similar map to the last one we played, except this time you're going to be shooting bots, and it's aim training, and they've called it Aimbots. You see what they did there? How clever of them. So on this map, you're going to start up, you're going to have a bunch of bots, they're going to be spazzing out the place, so you just go over and hit fix bots, and the bots will be fixed. And my frame rate will sort itself out because there's no longer so many bots. Now, on here you've got a few options. As before, you have the option to have them move randomly, which is a pretty nice one. It's a little bit confusing. I generally prefer to go for just the regular AD movement like this. And then, what gun should we have? Let's have an M4 this time. So you just go in the middle and miss a bunch of heads. Like so. So this is a good way of checking that you've got your you've got your aim on point. This one requires a lot more concentration than the other one because they're moving. This is the last one I like to do. You can do this for however long you want. Just add it into your routine. It's a nice one to do. And be unable to shoot that guy. This used to be impossible to do with them moving before they fixed the hitboxes. So this is really nice that they've done that. Obviously the AK is a one-hit kill, so you might prefer using that. I'm using the M4 because, I don't know, I like using the M4, it's a bit more accurate. But anyway. It's always important to ensure your warm-up routine reflects your style of play. If you're just matchmaking, for example, you probably don't need an hour-long warm-up routine before you play. You could just do a couple of rounds of aim training and you'll be good to go. If you're a more serious player, however, you may wish to do more, so make a warm-up routine that is appropriate. ScreaM is sometimes criticised for his style of shooting, as he will often go for headshots even when it arguably makes more sense to spray. ScreaM will usually go for headshots even when the enemy is in knife range. Personally, I'm not too convinced that it is strictly better to spray. You pick the style that suits you the best, but if you want to go full ScreaM mode, then you'll be shooting all the heads. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please leave a like, they help me out a bunch, and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye bye!